Charlie and I have been guilty of this in the past. That's why when I saw this question, I told Angel he should grab it.
I think I'll forever be guilty of this. I can't imagine not being guilty of this. I've moved increasingly in the direction of people that are closer to a friend, but
closer to being, your romantic relationships are becoming more similar to friendships, but you're not picking partners that your friends would be friends with independent of you.
I'm getting closer, certainly closer. I mean,
yeah, sure. Closer.
Come on, man.
It all depends where you start.
Yeah, so I would love to talk to the person who asked this question, because it's shocking to me that somebody can start a relationship with friendship being the foundation, as opposed to what I described earlier in the podcast, which is attraction, both physically and because you remind me of the feminine caregiver that I had when I was little, and that makes me feel safe and all those sorts of things. Mm-hmm. Can I describe it? I mean, yeah, it's not a thoughtful, it's not a good plan. It's just what happens.
I mean, let me know if I stray from answering this question, but it's not a decision you make with your front brain.
No.
I don't think. I think when you're picking to date someone, often you are not going, I'm going to look at where they went to school, what they do for a living. We're going to discuss our
shared values.
Yeah, life plan. You should do these things, maybe, but I don't really care what school you went to. But it's a feeling. That's what makes it so addicting. That's what makes it so euphoric, is you find this person, and for reasons you can't explain, they make you feel a way that your friends don't. That's the appeal. That's why you want to spend all your time with them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the reason it happens is because nobody is using a diagnostic tool. It's their amygdala, or their subconscious, is the one that is choosing for them. And then their front brain has the potentially difficult task of justifying the decision to their friends.
Yeah.
Because what you can't, in a lot of cases, admit to yourself or say to other people is, I don't care that this isn't someone I
we don't have shared values.
I don't care that we're from different, whatever it is, because the feeling I get is that this person is my other half, or something I've been longing for, or they make me feel at peace in a way that I've never felt before. And your friends will just look at you like you're insane. So now your front brain has to justify why this person who you're actually with because of those feelings is in fact a good match for you.
Yeah.
But certainly that's, in my experience and watching my friends, that's how the decision gets made, behind the scenes.
Totally. And I think that starts, why does this happen? I suspect it's biological, is that there's the sexual component, which isn't going, do we have shared values? Do we have this, that, and the other thing? It's like, no, do I think our genes and are going to be a good match right now? Mm-hmm. Then on top of that, there's this cultural thing. And if you think back, Romeo and Juliet knew each other for 3 days before they killed themselves because they couldn't be together at age 15. Mm-hmm. Right? They were from warring families, no shared values. They didn't know anything about one another. That, I don't know if there's a more iconic love story ever. And if you look at all media, ask yourself, how long did they know each other? Did they sit down?
The Little Mermaid gives up her voice before she speaks to the guy.
Yeah. Because she sees him. And this is what people grew up with. I mean, who's your favorite Disney princess? All of them, at least from my era, just gave it all up for a guy that they didn't know.
Yeah. Sleeping Beauty didn't. She was unconscious. And well, he came searching for a person that he didn't even know because he heard she was beautiful. But it's the prince's fault.
It's the prince. The prince goes hunting for someone who is pretty to kiss.
Allegedly pretty. Never seen her.
And so, congratulations if this is baffling to you. Yeah. Because you're more likely to have stable, solid, drama-free or mostly drama-free relationships.
So you don't get that high.
But oh my gosh, it's a drug.
It's euphoric drug.
Maybe that's the question that should be asked. Why do people do drugs? Well, imagine that there's a drug that is culturally approved, but everyone's telling you should do it, starts out free, and shows up at your house. That's why. It's the same high. I guess it's a different high. It has a similar impact on people's decision-making skills. So
no, and there's something that you shared with me because you were dating someone. I was like, dude, I don't get it. I really don't get it. And we had a pretty honest conversation. Mm-hmm. And you said something that stuck with me because I thought it was so interesting, which was listen, if I want interesting conversations about politics or something of that sort, yes, I'll go to my friends and not to my girlfriend. But when we are together, when we've just had sex or we've just whatever it is, the peace, the internal peace, the quieting of the mind, the sense that life is done or good or whatever it is. You said you couldn't get that feeling from anyone else except for her. And that was the first time I was like, okay, I can't get it because I'm not experiencing it, but I understand now. You're not with this person because of your experience is similar to my experience with her, which is just like bad conversations. There's something occurring when you two are alone that is wholly different from my experience with her or your experience with anyone else.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why you became so obsessed with her.
I mean, it sounds like an opioid addiction, right? It's just peace. And that was the truth. It was a sigh, a breath out, a comfort. And I've talked a lot about this. People are going to think that I'm crazy, but I really do think that your parents have a dramatic impact. Maybe both.
It was on purpose.
Maybe both. Dramatic impact on the type of person that you choose. But when you find someone that reflects the type of love that you wanted to receive, or maybe even did receive as a young person, the back of your brain that remembers what it was like to be 0 years old, which, by the way, it does. I mean, you learn to walk before you can remember, right? Like, you're recording even though you don't remember it, that whole period. That learned what love is, and then you experience that sense of that early love is like, oh my God, like, we've done it. We're back. Yeah. It's okay.
What's the book? There's a book that first turned you on to this idea.
Yeah,
right?
I would have to dig it up.
Getting the love you need?
Oh, it could be it.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, and there's a lot. So it's not just one book. It's
Yeah, I know you're synthesizing a bunch of books, but people have said when you guys reference stuff, it's helpful to know the title.
I believe it's called Getting the Love You Need, if you want to write that for the notes, Angel. Yeah, that's the one. And so I think that's why. And then it's an opioid.
Yeah. No, and then if you want to work on a little bit of empathy towards these people, because I know at first for me, and maybe based on your question for you, there's a bit of judgment of like, why are you doing this? This person is a terrible match for you. If you want to work on your empathy for them, they're getting something from that person that is wholly unique in their mind to that person, and that is very different from your experience with them. So it's very hard to be judgmental. Well, you can be judgmental of whatever you want, but I don't know what your experience with your girlfriend is like just because I've had dinner with her. You know what I mean? Like, the triggers that she's hitting in your subconscious, the emotion she's making you feel, the dopamine and serotonin that you're getting are completely different than just the pleasure of being in her presence and talking to her.
Yeah.
It's something that it means something to your brain. You know what I mean? That it doesn't to everyone else in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's why. It's my best guess, at least. I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
Trying to date.
I get it, though. Friends. Trust me, I'd love if Charlie would date people that I would be friends with.
Working on it. Hope that you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more like this and have us do more podcasts, we are 100% funded by our generous patrons. And if you'd like to contribute, there's a link in the description, and we'll have one pop up on the screen right here so that we can do more podcasts where we have fun conversations and hopefully some deep ones like this. Either way, hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.